Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. I'd like to welcome you, dear viewers, to another in our series, In the Light of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allah's peace and blessings be on each and every one of you. In this segment of our program, we have a question with two parts, which has come to us from Abu Dhabi. Assalamu alaikum, dear Dr. Bilal. Is it possible that a woman can read the Quran with ahkam beside a foreign man, a dalil? This needs to be translated into normal English. That is, reading the Quran according to the Quranic reading rules, which they call ahkam. Besides a foreign man, I guess they intend by a foreign man meaning a non-mahram, right? Who would then check her recitation and correct it. Basically, this is something which is permissible. If there's a female not available who has the skills necessary to correct that person. The people who have specialized in Quranic recitation, generally speaking, are men. And women who are learning, they can study with other women to a certain point, and then to get, the best type of guidance and correction, they may have to turn to male Quranic specialists, raw. So under such circumstances where that necessity arises, it is permissible Islamically for her to recite and be corrected. But of course, if she recites, she should not recite in a melodious voice, but to recite a straight recitation, something closer to reading, wherein her reading rules would be checked and corrected. The second question, how many units should we pray in Ramadan? I guess Ramadan has passed. Perhaps this question had come in back during Ramadan time, or a person is thinking towards Ramadan to come. And is witr the last rak'ah? Well, the Taraweeh, or the night prayers in Ramadan, which are done after Salatul Isha. And I should point out that the original practice of the Prophet ﷺ in this regard is that he would go to sleep after praying Salatul Isha. He would go to sleep, and he'd wake up in the night as he normally would for Tahajjud, and he prayed the night prayers during Ramadan. Now, for those who feared that they would have difficulty in getting up for the night prayers in Ramadan, which is really the Tahajjud prayers, then it was brought to immediately after Salatul Isha. They wanted to do their prayers then, for fear of not being able to get up in the night. So, though this is permissible, and the Sahaba did it, a number of them have pointed out, as you can find the discussion on this topic in Fath al-Bari, a number of them have pointed out that, this was not the practice in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, nor was it the preferable practice. The preferable practice is to go to sleep, then wake up and pray. Now, how many units should we pray? And again, this is an area where there are some differences of opinion. The common practice is to pray 20. However, when we go to Sahih al-Bukhari, to the statement of Aisha, right, wife of the Prophet ﷺ, she said that the Prophet ﷺ didn't used to pray more than 11 units of prayer during Ramadan or outside of Ramadan. He would pray 4 and 4 and then 3 of witr. So it is common practice to do 2 groups of 2 units, which made 4. He would pause and 2 and 2, pause, and then he would do the witr, which was the last prayer of the night. So that was the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and this is what is preferable. As to the 20 units which have been attributed to Umar radiallahu anhu, actually the narrations which attributed to Umar are not authentic. It is authentically reported that Umar did gather people for the Tarawih prayers in the masjid. He did do it when people used to pray separately. However, to say that he introduced the 20 units of prayer, this is not in fact correct, because the narrations which attribute this to him are not authentic. There is another issue which came out of this, which perhaps we need to touch on, and that is that at the time when Caliph Umar radiallahu anhu, put the people together behind one imam, he said that this was a good bid'ah. Bid'ah hasana. And on the basis of this, people have tried to apply this terminology, bid'ah being innovation, and hasana being good, a good innovation, to cover a variety of other innovations which have taken place in the religion over time, from the celebration of the Prophet's birthday to a variety of other practices which people do. Now, we must realize here that Prophet Muhammad had said, "Kullu bid'atin dalala." Every religious innovation is misguidance. So there is no way, after the Prophet has said this, to come back and say, but some innovations in the religion are good innovations. No. This is not a valid argument. Well, those who point back to the statement of Umar, radiallahu anhu, using this as proof, we have to ask them, was Umar in fact inventing something new in the religion? Did this not exist in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Didn't the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam pray witr and tahajjud in jama'ah in his own lifetime? Didn't he come out one night and people gathered, and the second night people gathered, third night he didn't? This is authentically recorded that this is what happened. So what Umar had done was not something new. He didn't invent something new. What he did was he revived the practice which the Prophet ﷺ had already established. And then when he said that this was a bid'ah hasana, he was using the term bid'ah in the linguistic way, not in the legal way, in the sense of religious innovation. He referred to it in the linguistic sense, that this was something new, which was new to that time, not new in the sense that it had no precedence. The point is that it wasn't really new, it was just new to that time. His putting them all behind one imam, that one particular imam that he chose, this was something new. But the fact of congregation behind an imam was something which the Prophet Muhammad himself had done. So Umar radiallahu anhu did not make an innovation in the religion. This was not an innovation in the religion. So we cannot use that to justify other practices like celebrating the Prophet's birthday, which has no foundation in the teachings of the Prophet. He never said anything about it, he never practiced it, he never encouraged his companions to practice it, nor did they do it. This is something which people have innovated some 400 years after his time. So, Ramadan, the Sunnah is 11 raka'at. This was the Prophet's practice, and he did say, "Sallu kama ra'aytumuni yusalli," pray as you saw me pray. It is not prayer in the sense of only the form, but also his method. This is the preferable way.